Hello, dear Aries. Welcome to your February 2021 astrology prediction. During this month, we have a very interesting shift. The first half of the month brings lots of Aquarius energy with the sun there, with Mercury being retrograde in Aquarius. And also, of course, Jupiter is there, Saturn is there, Venus is there part of the time. So the month begins with a very intense, very exciting, electrifying energy. And towards the end of the month, we are transitioning into the calmer and more peaceful energy of Pisces. So we'll look at those energies in details for February and how they will affect you personally. And also, we'll discuss some of the most important astrology events, like, for example, the square between Saturn and Uranus. This is one of the major aspects during the whole year. So stay tuned to learn how you can be affected by this aspect. As I said, the first thing we need to know is that Mercury is retrograde until the 20th. And it will be retrograde in Aquarius in your 11th house with so many influences there, like, for example, Venus being there as well. As you can see on the first, Venus is moving in your 11th house in Aquarius. The sun is there as well. You may feel like you really need to focus on your ideals, the things that you are visualizing for yourself in terms of your future. With Mercury retrograde there, you may need to change something about it. Maybe you need a new vision, a new perspective about the future. Maybe you also need to reconsider some of your friendships or some of the group work you might have been focusing on. And generally commit to something that you would enjoy more. Keep in mind that Mercury retrograde in 11th house means that probably it's not the best time to start brand new things in regards to some team projects or some kind of community goals. But at the same time, you might restart previous connections or friendships, or you might return to a group or a community that you've been part of in the past. Specifically on the 1st of February, as we said, Venus also moves into your 11th house and will stay there for a couple of weeks. This is a very harmonizing aspect that may help you to find the balance, to maybe make some compromises when it comes to communication with other people, and overall to enjoy spending time with others, to socialize. Nowadays, we may need to do this mostly online or by using technology. That's part of the situation right now, but we may still enjoy this connection with other people. And Venus in 11th house may really help you do that. On the other side, specifically on the 1st of February, we have an aspect that can bring certain tension. The sun in your 11th house is squaring Mars, which is in your 2nd house. This aspect may bring some kind of confrontations or arguments with friends, or when it comes to money and some financial decisions. Be extra careful with your actual financial decisions. And also keep in mind that sometimes you might be impulsive or you may have a desire to maybe purchase something or maybe give money to someone. This may not be the best idea. So I would recommend you to at least give yourself more time. Also with Mercury retrograde, we know that sometimes we may not be able to see a very clear picture. So specifically on the 1st, be more careful with those financial decisions. Then on the 6th of February, some more influence in your 11th house. This time, Venus is joining Saturn there. And from one point of view, this may bring some kind of emotional focus, emotional concentration. When it comes to those friendships or connections to other people or your ideals, or as we said, your vision about the future. You may feel a little restricted emotionally or sometimes disappointed, or there might be some kind of challenging emotions that you need to process. On the very same day, also Venus squares Uranus. Venus is in 11th and Uranus is in second house. Again, be really careful with financial decisions. You can be impulsive or maybe even reckless, or you may do something that you haven't considered carefully. So a little bit more attention with finances and also communication with friends, especially with women, but not only, may bring some kind of surprises or something which you are maybe not really expecting. On the 8th of February, again, your 11th house. Mercury retrograde is joining the sun there. Lots of focus, lots of ideas, lots of connections can be restored, recovered, reevaluated. Ideas that come from the past but are related to your future may also be really important. Mentally, this might be a very intense combination. You may have lots of ideas. You may also spend lots of time on self-analysis, and that's all great, but just don't let yourself to, keep repeating the same thoughts, especially if they're negative. And also focus on the things that you want to change about yourself, about your own vision. On the 11th, Venus will join Jupiter in your 11th house. This is one of the luckiest, most beneficial combination because those are the two benefactors, Venus and Jupiter. Very inspiring, very nice combination that can bring you prosperity, success, positive emotions, maybe even receiving some kind of gift, maybe even some financial support. And all of that is somehow related to the same area that we've been talking about since the beginning of this video. Again, it's 11th house. Those are your friendships, those are your plans about the future, or the community that you are part of. Focus on those things. They can bring you both joy and success. And the other interesting news is that at the same time, there is also a new moon, not surprisingly, again, triggering your 11th house, which means that you may start something. This could be like a fresh new beginning. Maybe it will take some time because Mercury is still retrograde until the 20th, but you may still feel this boost of energy, this desire to commit to your future, maybe to focus on some kind of teamwork or to do something that will be important for your future. Very interesting, very beneficial combination on the 11th. Then on the 13th, Mercury retrograde will be in conjunction with Venus in your 11th house. Great combination to restart old friendships or to reconnect with people from your past and maybe even find solutions and compromises for previous problems or arguments or things that you've been kind of blocked in. Those could be really beneficial times to negotiate or to renegotiate, to share your feelings, your ideas, and of course, to reconsider your desires, the things that you want the most when it comes to your future vision. So it's really an aspect of some reassessment and also reevaluation. On the same day, we also have a very positive aspect between Mars and Neptune, and they are triggering your 2nd and 12th house. This could be like an invisible support that you receive. It may seem like it's coming out of nowhere. It might be as a new idea. It could be just an inspiration. It could be a creative vision that may help you to start doing something, to be more creative when you do this something, and potentially even have some concrete practical results that may even support you financially. So see how many angles we have here. So it's both inspiring and creative, and seems like, you know, it's coming from somewhere else, and yet it may turn into something really practical. So it's a very nice, very inspirational combination for you, Aries. Yeah, and on top of that, of course, Mars is your ruler, so it's double benefit. Okay, on the 14th of February, Mercury retrograde is joining Jupiter. On Valentine's Day, yes, so we have this interesting combination, which can really bring people from the past in our life. If you are wondering, maybe you can call your ex, maybe you can call a friend from the past and reconnect. It's a great aspect also for listening more to your internal knowledge, to your own wisdom. Because with Mercury retrograde, we have to pay attention to what's coming from inside. And again, allow yourself to think big, and even more importantly, dream big. This is an amazing combination that can help you to create a new vision for yourself in the future, which can be much more positive and can make you even feel more successful. On the 17th of February, there is one of those really important aspects during the whole year. Saturn in 11th house will square your Uranus in 2nd house. This is a challenging aspect. The two planets are kind of enemies with each other, and this is also a challenging aspect, which means that we may feel kind of pulled in two different directions. So keep in mind that you need to find the balance. Maybe in your case, that's kind of the conflict between the rational, practical side of life and also your ideals, your vision, your perspective about the future. But see, it's interesting because you have kind of like an inversion. Typically, Uranus is the planet which is related to 11th house. This is the vision, the ideals, this type of different perspective. And on the other side, Saturn and 2nd house are the practical elements in this combination. But see how they have switched places. Saturn is in 11th, Uranus is in 2nd house. I can kind of translate this into maybe in the areas where you have been really open-minded and different and not really practical. Those are the areas that you need this Saturn approach. Maybe you need to look from a more practical perspective. You need to become a little bit more grounded, and you need to bring some stability into this area of your life. And on the other side, in the kind of like opposite areas of life, where you are more rigid, where maybe you're afraid of changes, that's actually where you need to change something right now. Maybe you have avoided that for a while, for whatever reason, but now could be the time to really switch your focus and use different approaches when it comes to those particular areas. So I honestly find this really interesting. Okay, after that, on the 18th of February, the sun is moving to your 12th house. So the energy starts to shift, and you may focus more on completion, completing all things that you've been working on during the past 1 year. Maybe taking some time for yourself to relax or to listen to your inner self or to find the inner peace that you've been needing for a while. It's a relaxing combination. It's a great time also for some spiritual practices, for also mostly more time for yourself, more private time. And that will be the tendency for the next 1 month. So, of course, until the end of February, this is a major direction that you may focus on. On the 19th of February, Venus and Mars are squaring each other. This is a challenging connection, and it triggers your finances, but also any connections with other people who are kind of your team or the group of people you've been working with, and also your friends, of course. Be careful with your decisions. They might be a little impulsive. They might be a little reckless, I guess, sometimes. But on the other side, it's also maybe the time to shift something, especially if you've been trying to keep things for too long and if you've been really afraid to take certain risks. And yet you know that those risks are necessary for you and they would be good for you. This is a nice time to maybe go on and try it. Keep in mind that on the other side, Mercury is already stationary at this point because on the 20th, it's about to turn direct. So I would encourage you to be more careful, to take more time with all the decisions you need to make, and also when it comes to communication with people. Such a combination like Mercury stationary and Venus squaring Mars can bring total misunderstandings in communication and unfortunately also some confrontations. So just relax, don't push things too much. If possible, try to postpone them for at least a couple of days later. And I already spoiled that for you, that Mercury is turning direct on the 20th, which means that after that, we have the green light to start new projects, to sign contracts. If there was some kind of mess when it comes to communication with friends, with your team, those should also go back to normal. And overall, you should calm down. You should feel kind of better and with a clearer vision about your future. With so much influences in your 11th house, I think that at the end of the month and even after the 20th, you may really have a very different perspective, which is great. On the 24th, Mars in second house has a very positive aspect with Pluto in your 10th house. This, my friends, is absolutely amazing for all kinds of practical, concrete, career-oriented and financial goals and activities. Business achievements, financial decisions, you can have this boost of energy, boost of motivation, ability to influence other people, to have an impact. So very, very beneficial aspect for business and for finances. And I would say even for investments. On the 25th, Venus is also moving to your 12th house in Pisces. This is a very romantic, very sensitive combination. Venus in Pisces, the sun is there as well. So it's time to also take better care of yourself, especially emotionally, to relax, to feel comfortable, and also to heal anything that needs to be healed, especially when it comes to your emotions and also your relationships. On the 25th, the sun is having another positive aspect with Uranus, triggering 12th and second house. Great, inspiring combination to take some action, to do something in a different way, but also to pursue some practical results in an untraditional, original, and creative way. Financially, you may also succeed, you may have some benefits, or you may have some really inspiring ideas that eventually may help you to improve financially. And finally, this is the last aspect for the month. On the 27th, we have a full moon. It will trigger your 6th and 12th house, which is an amazing time to let go of all kinds of negative habits, ideas, health problems. Let it go. Change your schedule, change your daily routines. At work, you have to be also clearer about your goals, your desires. You can materialize some important projects in terms of career or when it comes to your health goals. So the end of the month is actually bringing this intense energy for manifestation and also for letting the unnecessary things just go, just leave them behind. So that, my friends, is your February horoscope. If you are interested in a more personal reading, you're welcome to check the link below. You will find all the needed information. And if necessary, you can always contact me with your questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful month.